You don't know what a denouement is?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's, well, like the way a story goes, you have exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and then the end is like the denouement.
That's a type of story, right?
The resolution, but...
There you go.
Right. A resolution happens, I would say, you could just say, it is the resolution, but sometimes it's the denouement. It's like the final, just the ending of everything.
Have you seen Kurt Vonnegut's explanation of different stories?
No.
It's amazing. It's like 18 minutes, and it's called The Shape of Stories, and he has like a whiteboard, and he draws a bunch of different types of story types.
Wait, did you say Kurt Vonnegut?
Yeah.
Like the writer?
Yeah, Curdy V.
Yeah.
Cat's
He
Cradle.
has a ton of like really good video content of him.
Wait a second. Something has just been revealed to me that is so crazy.
That he's
That
like
he was
a
alive
modern person.
in video
Fully
time.
fully thought that he died in like the 1930s.
No,
Yeah.
Like fully thought that.
Kurt Vonnegut?
Yes, I thought that he was like, we're doing old school.
He died in 2007.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's actually blowing my mind right now because I think I've seen that video and I was like, you're thinking of someone else.
He's probably been on podcasts as well. Like Kurt.
He's been on this podcast.
Yeah, we had one time. Yeah,
KV came over.
Yeah. And then another person like that I always thought was like dead from a long time ago, but actually was like around for TV and was on game shows and stuff was Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
No, that blew my mind. Or like Pablo Picasso.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I was like, no way is this a picture of him with a wiener dog?
Yeah.
Like I was like, he wasn't around
Photographed.
when. Yeah.
Pablo P.
And we're rolling. Alrighty.
Alrighty. Oh, you know what? We can just hop right into it. We've already been chatting, but you know what? We need a proper introduction. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Hoot and a Half. I'm your host, Matt King, with my co-host here, Mike Sheffer. And I'm so happy to have this guest here today. She's been a long time friend. One of my longest friends, I could say, in LA. Wow. And it's about damn time that we had you on this pod.
Wow.
But we'll give you the whole explanation of why this was such a great opportune time to have Arden Rose,
Woo.
Ricks, Derbyshire,
Woo.
here in the house. Welcome.
Whoop whoop. Thank you guys for having me.
Arden Rose, wait, are you going by Ricks, Derbyshire? Are you keeping Ricks? Are you...
Well, I don't know how you guys felt like when you were thinking about changing names and everything, but I just didn't want to have to go through the legal process of actually changing everything.
Right.
So I go by Ricks Derbyshire, but I also don't expect anyone to call me Ricks Derbyshire.
Just as a go-by. Like in your Instagram bio. Yeah.
Ricks Derbyshire.
Patricia is still, I think she may be Patricia King now, but she's like still Patricia Flack on her. But she actually is going through
With
the legal
process? How
name
is it?
change.
Is it hard?
I know that our wedding certificate just arrived.
Okay.
So we just have to get all those documents together.
Did you get first place?
First place in what?
Well, you're going to get the certificate. You get first, second, third place?
Yeah, you get a little ribbon to go along with it
Or
as
was
well.
that just a participation
I was about
effort?
to say, I think it's a participation.
First time we did go into the courthouse, we were so excited about getting our marriage certificate.
Yeah.
And I filled out the document wrong, and we had to wait like a whole other 24 hours to get
What
it.
did you get wrong?
So it was to the name change thing.
Yeah.
They were asking what her name is, and I thought, oh, this is the time where we do the legal name change. So I wrote her down as Patricia King.
Yes.
And they were like, no. We need her legal name, like the one on her driver's license. So we had to put Flack.
I almost made that exact same error in the UK. I was doing all of our wedding certificate stuff. And it's the same thing. You're getting married as yourself, like as your previous name.
Yes.
Like that's the whole point is that they have to know your legal name before
Right.
Can we just all do it at the same
Yeah,
time
I know.
right here? Let's wrap it up.
I was confused by that.
You guys, one, had a fantastic wedding.
Thanks. And thank you for both being there.
It was one of the best trips and best weddings I've ever been to.
Best, I would maybe say the best wedding.
You guys are flattering
Ever.
me. That's
I
very
loved it.
sweet of you.
It was a blast. So much fun.
The location also was just like...
Oh,
It was quite magical.
It was like a fairy tale.
Yeah. But you guys made it. Honestly, everyone showed up like on their best form, which I think was what we needed for the wedding.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being
Perfect
there.
day. And but to the ceremony itself, and I don't know if this is a tradition in England, in the UK, but I had never seen it before,
Yeah.
is that when you guys were there at, I would say like the altar, but up on the stage where the venue was, there were these two ladies off to the side at a table.
Yep.
What were their positions and what were they there to do? I think I know, but I want to hear it from you.
Right. Well, Doll, that's actually such a good question. And I love this question. Like, this is such a good question. Well, the first person who was in that, like, cunty little tweedy pink suit, the one who actually officiated us, she was our officiant.
Okay.
And then the secondary person was basically like a witness for the state. So it's like,
Yeah, she looked like a bureaucrat.
yeah,
Like,
big time.
she was like in an office job, sort of sitting there,
Yep.
similar posture to like,
Yep.
oh, you're here for your DMV appointment? We'll be with you in a minute.
100% that
Almost like
vibe.
she was like a stenographer
Yeah.
throughout the
Yeah.
entire ceremony.
Totally.
And how did you find these like officiant and witness? Do they work together? Is there like a officiantmatch.com?
Yeah, so they have to be from the area.
Okay.
So it was the county of Wiltshire. And so we had to find like an officiant and someone who could do it because we weren't doing a religious ceremony. So they need to have like the government basically overwatch your wedding and make sure that it's officiated.
For all in the county of what, the Cotswolds, or is this like
Wiltshire.
a Wiltshire specifically? This is a must thing for
So it has to be local. So like if you got married in Wiltshire, you'd probably have the same lady sitting in the corner.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was her name? Betty Sue? What was
Well, that's actually such a good question too. It's actually on my certificate. I have no idea.
Okay.
Absolutely, I'm going to say Betty Sue.
She looked great though.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
blended in very well with the
Yeah, yeah,
wedding.
yeah.
She meant business.
Yeah.
But did you know that going in and booking that at the venue that was going to have to be a mandatory thing? Did Will kind of know that this
Will-
will probably have to happen?
Yeah, Will handled all of the logistics for the wedding, basically.
Wow.
I handled
nice.
effectively nothing. Well, because I was sort of like feigning innocence. Like I was like, I don't know anything about the immigration process to the UK. I don't know.
Strategic incompetence.
I was like, ooh, I have no. Yeah, wait, what's the thing? Weaponized incompetence.
Yes, yes.
But I like strategic when it's a woman. That's really sweet. I like that a lot. That's good. I'm going to use that. But yeah, no, he basically did everything for me,
Oh, great.
which was great. So like on the day, I remember we were about to like separate in the morning because oh my god, we slept in the same bed the night before. Oh my god, literally air it out. But the next morning, Will and I were like laying in bed, and he was like, "Oh, by the way, like you're gonna have a meeting with someone 30 minutes before the wedding, so that you can so they know that you're the person that's getting married today."
yeah.
Like it's like a weird, again, like a legal thing. Like they have to be like, this isn't a person who's held against her will.
Yeah.
And no,
I need
literally,
to like lock eyes with you and make
Yeah.
sure you are consenting
Yes.
to this ceremony that is about to go down.
Yes, before all of this happened, we got our marriage licenses done in Richmond.
Okay.
Which is like a really, really beautiful place and just like a gorgeous place in London.
Oh, not Richmond, Virginia.
No, not Richmond,
Okay.
Virginia. Although I found out they're partnered with Richmond, Virginia, which makes sense. Like they're like buddies. There's like
Yeah.
signs all over that are like Richmond upon the Thames, like whoa,
Yeah.
like welcomes any Virginians coming, like blah blah blah. It's really cute.
Okay.
I don't think Virginia has the same vibe for the English.
No.
Yeah, okay. I was
No,
going to say.
not
but-
exactly the same vibe.
Okay.
But anyways, we were there and we were having the appointment, and it's the first appointment where you basically say like, we are getting married and this is, everyone's consenting to this, da da da. But you have to go in separately so that if it is like a marriage against your will, they can like suss it out.
Yeah, you can like signal to them that,
Yes.
like, I don't want this to happen.
Yes,
Like
but-
blink twice, show a number 3.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I thought like maybe they were just going to suss by just like asking questions. But like the British are so subtle that they try to give you also subtle ways to like, you know, get out of it if it's something sketchy. So first of all, they separate you. So I was in a separate room. And when I go sit down in the room, like covering the walls all over the top is paraphernalia about like being trafficked. And like,
Really?
yeah, and like being taken against your will and stuff. So I'm like, this is supposed to be like such a romantic, like getting my wedding certificate, like blah, blah, blah.
Now, was Will seeing this paraphernalia in his room as well, or is
Yes!
this like only
This is
like,
the ladies'
yeah,
room.
It's the ladies' thing.
No, no, it was
This is
both
like
of us.
the bathroom of an international airport. Where,
Yeah,
you know, like-
literally.
Yeah.
Like that one where it's like the person with the backpack, like on the back of the side. Like it was like that all over the walls, and like little like cards with like legal notices for lawyers and like solicitors and stuff that you could call. But it was just like very. And then the whole time it's like this man sitting behind a desk, and he's just ensconced with trafficking posters around him, and he's like, so this is your freedom to get married, right? Like this is your freedom. And I'm like, yes, but like how funny would it be if I was like, and then it's like, book 'em, boys. But also no, I would never do that. That's
Right.
horrible. But anyways, it's amazing. There's a lot of support for people in the UK. They
That's
take it very
great.
very seriously. Yeah.
And you guys have been dealing with a whole lot of shenanigans with now your visa,
Yeah.
where you can live. Because
Yeah.
originally you guys were set thinking you could be here for a long time.
Yeah.
Then now you guys have to go back, but you're in town. Explain what's all kind of going on
Right.
with your status of where you're living and
whatever you can say publicly.
yeah, whatever you can say publicly. Safe space.
No, well, basically, it just came down to the fact that, I mean, I feel like everyone knows this, but the U.S. immigration policy is like just impossibly complicated and also really backlogged. Like, if Will wanted to get an appointment right now to have some kind of like green card situation, he would have to wait 18 months. Like that was our estimate.
18.
Yeah. So it was like, oh, this is like a very long lead time and we kind of want to get our lives started. So we're not going to sit around just for the first meeting. And then of course, when I applied for a visa to the UK, I got it in a month. So I was like,
Oh.
Wow.
this is a very different vibe.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Do they give you like they tell you where you are at in the queue of things, or is it they just give you a rough estimate of when we can get around to your case?
in the green card process?
Yeah, I guess.
They set a date for you. So they'll be like, this is the date for your appointment. And it's
Okay.
in like a year and 6 months.
So
it's
what
like,
would happen between now and then, though?
you have to stay in the country or you have to be out of the country uninterrupted.
You can't move in and out.
Yeah. As far as I
Oh,
know, I
boy.
might be like, I might
No,
be
I think that
speaking way
sounds
out of
right.
turn. But yeah, it's, I understand why people have such a hard process with immigrating. And like, we are in such a privileged position. We could pay for lawyers. I can't imagine doing it without someone helping me and without having like a little bit of cash to throw towards a lawyer who knows better than I do. Because it's also constantly changing.
Right.
Like everything changes all the time with immigration, all the time.
Where do you like follow all the news and the updates for like
Reddit, baby.
Yeah,
I'm on
Reddit.
those immigration subreddits like crazy. Or Will is, but now it's my addiction as well. But
But
yeah,
you're back now.
Yeah, back here for a week, and then
You have to
yeah.
kind of pack up all your stuff right now because now you're going to be leasing out your place for
Yeah.
the next like year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which is so crazy. The one like saving grace of it though is that now we're moving everything out. We have all this leftover furniture. We have all this leftover stuff. I'm like, that's absolutely gorgeous and wonderful. We can just donate that to anyone who lost their homes or lost their furniture
yeah.
or whatever.
Perfect
Like,
timing.
yeah, it's
For a good
actually
purge.
weirdly perfect timing. Like the most horrific story, which I have permission to tell, but like was just so buck wild when the fires were first popping off. I was in London the whole time it was happening. So we would go to bed at night and then wake up in the morning and you'd be like, everything's on fire. And we're like, oh. And then it was kind of like you guys, like when you would go to bed at night, you're like, well, I hope that I'm not going to hear sirens. Or like,
Yeah.
I hope that I wake up and everything's okay. Like it's such a weird thing. But I was having that in London being like, I hope I wake up and like my home's not burned down. I hope I wake up and like
Yeah.
everyone's okay. You know what I mean? So, but it was so crazy because we were doing an open house for our house like 4 days before the fires started. So, and we had like this one couple that was interested in the house. So Katie, my real estate agent, who's amazing, had the open house. It went really well. The next day, we have a conversation about it. The next day, she's like, I might do another open house. This is the day before the fires. I might do another open house, so I'll let you know. So tomorrow morning, I'll come over and like get stuff set up. I'm like, okay, cool. So then the next morning, though, I wake up and I'm like, there's like news of fires or like something's like the Santa Ana winds are coming. Like it hadn't kicked off yet. As the day progresses and Katie wakes up and like she goes about her day, in the evening, I'm like, I wasn't going to bother her while she was doing the open house. I was just going to call her after it was done. So I message her at like 10 p.m. at night right before I'm going to bed. And I'm like, hey, Katie, I've been like seeing this stuff about the fires. The Palisades fires had just sort of kicked the fuck off. And then Eaton fires had just like kicked the fuck off. And I was like, hey, I saw everything about the fire. Did you end up doing the open house today? Or like what ended up happening with that? And she was like, well, actually, I had IVF egg retrieval like today, and then an hour later while I was still under like coming out of anesthesia, I had to evacuate my house and my house burned down.
Oh my
And
God.
I was like, oh, okay, well, so don't worry about the open house. I was like, just don't. But it
You
was,
go, so open house tomorrow then?
yeah, what do we think? Like, is the air quality?
Sorry
Can we leave
about
the
all of
doors?
your
need
stuff.
somebody to
Yeah.
fix this out.
Really need someone to be in the house. But
Oh my God.
yeah, but it was just wild. And then I was like, what? And also, I should also say that we had been talking on the phone for maybe like 20 or 30 minutes at this point when she was like, yeah, also my house burned down. I was like,
Oh, she
why
didn't
are
lead
you
with that?
literally
Yeah.
talking to me right now? I was like, literally delete my phone number, go like do
yeah.
whatever you need
Go.
to do. Yeah. It was buck wild. But she was saying, she was like, it was actually kind of a nice distraction from everything. Like dealing with someone else's house to
Yeah.
not have to worry about like
The fact that everything she owns is gone.
totally and 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Is she now in the market to rent your house?
Yeah. That would
She
be
would just be like,
so wild.
just take this.
Yeah, please. No, she's really lucky because a lot of her family is up in Santa Barbara. So she's been
Okay.
living up there
Okay.
for a little bit. So thank God she had like a good support system. while everything is going on, and she's doing insurance claims and all of that. But I mean, like, even for her, she's so well versed in housing in Los Angeles. So someone like her, I know she's going to be okay, and I know that she knows how to navigate it.
She knows all the paperwork and insurance and just how to navigate all of that.
Yeah. And her husband's a contractor, so I was like, that you guys have it made for this situation. Yeah, you guys are going to be okay. But I feel terrible for her. Also feel terrible for people who don't know how to navigate that system.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be unbelievable.
And now just like pivot, because I wanted to talk about this with your whole moving situation, because I thought it was fascinating. So you guys have 2 adorable cats.
Yes.
Love your cats. And
Angels.
What are their names for the record?
Primrose and Calcifer, but we call him Cal.
best.
They are
Angels.
insanely good-looking cats.
They are very hot cats.
So angelic.
I think I can say that. They're sexy
piercing
cats.
blue eyes
Yeah.
and just fluffy white coat
Yep.
and
They're like out of a Disney movie.
Yeah,
They're just so adorable.
Sweetie little angels.
Oh, but you had to now move the cats to London.
Oh, y'all.
But the process is pretty hectic, or it's not that easy to get cats into London.
It's
Animals,
insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Animals in
dogs.
general, I guess?
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
it-
yeah.
Okay.
It's because England and the UK is rabies free. So they have the same kind of policies that Australia has. Like, do you remember when Johnny Depp and Amber Heard got in trouble for bringing their Yorkies into Australia?
Yes, I do remember when
So
that was going down.
The reason why that was so serious is because they have such strict, like, anti, like, pet immigration laws.
Yeah, they have like hardcore quarantine.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Have you been to
process.
Australia? Have either of you guys been?
Yeah, I've been to Australia. My cousins, they lived in Australia for like 12 years, and so
Okay.
and they had a dog, and I know that the dog had to like
They
stay
had
in
to
a
be
facility,
quarantined, yes.
quarantine in Australia before
Yeah.
they could
Yeah.
get the dog.
No, totally. But it's like so insane. Like, we took a trip to New Zealand and they like test the bottom of your shoes for dirt and stuff to make sure you don't have like
Whoa.
foreign seeds in like soil in your shoes.
Wait, I'm trying to understand this. They're rabies free,
Yeah,
meaning that they
sorry.
just want to ensure that any
Animal that comes in doesn't bring rabies.
does not have rabies. But
Yeah.
we in America were like, bring it in.
Yeah, have it, girl. Have a
Like-
party.
well, we're not rabies free. Like we haven't achieved that level of
The status.
Yeah, because America's just so big, and England is an island, so it's a little bit easier to contain.
Oh,
Totally.
the island.
It's
part
like,
makes a little sense.
Island
It's like a
vibes.
zombie situation where
Okay.
you can contain it on the island.
What comes in and what goes
Oh,
out.
like that, yeah.
But you guys couldn't just fly into London even with them
No.
certified rabies free. You had to go through this whole loophole. Explain this, because I thought this was fascinating.
Okay, the process starts a couple months before you actually get on your flight. Okay. First of all, no airlines will fly your pet from Los Angeles or anywhere in the United States directly to the UK. So you have to land in a country that has freer pet laws than the UK does. So for us, that was France. For a lot of people will fly into the Netherlands, like go to Amsterdam. And then the whole thing is that then you drive them across the border because they have animal checks. So they will like check your paperwork. You get additional paperwork for France as well so that you can land in France. So it's almost like they have like a 2-step process to verify that your pets don't have rabies or like any kind of
And you have
contagious
to show
diseases.
them up-to-date rabies shots and all that from the
Yes.
American doctors and then the French doctors, and then you bring it over?
And the USDA. You have to get like paperwork sent over
And you go
from
through
the
the
USDA.
chunny? Like,
You go through that channel, baby.
the channel, right?
Yeah.
The channel.
I like the chunny though. I thought you were doing like a cute thing with
I'm
that.
thinking of the is there something called the chutney or the oh, never
Well, there
mind.
is
Isn't
chutney,
chutney
which
like a
is
dip?
delicious. Yeah.
Oh, chutney's a dip?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Hampton
The jitney.
Yes.
jitney.
And I think I put those two
The chunny and the
together.
chimney. We'll be right back after a quick word from today's sponsor, Apostrophe. Now, there are moments in your life where your skin can impact your confidence and how you feel about yourself. And it's happened to us, prom night, you get a big zit, or right before a big meeting, you realize you're having a breakout. It happens to everybody.
And feeling confident in your own skin starts with getting expert care. That's why we're excited to partner with Apostrophe. Whether you're dealing with acne, signs of aging, or dark spots, Apostrophe helps you get access to the right treatments for your skin.
Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you with an expert dermatology team to get customized acne and dermatology treatments for your unique skin Through Apostrophe, you can get access to oral and topical medications that use clinically proven ingredients to help clear acne.
Simply fill out an online consultation about your skin goals and medical history, then snap a few selfies, and a dermatology provider will create a customized treatment plan just for you. Apostrophe offers access to prescription treatments for all types of acne, from hormonal acne to facial acne, and even back, chest, and butt acne. Treat breakouts from head to toe.
We're both users of Apostrophe. We signed up. It's amazing. They send you a beautiful package. The branding, honestly, I love the way it looks on my shelf, on my countertops. It is amazing.
And we have a special deal for our audience. Get your first visit for only $5 at apostrophe.com/Hoot when you use our code Hoot. That's a savings of $15. This code is only available for you, our listeners.
To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/Hoot and click Get Started. Then use our code Hoot at sign up, and you'll get your first visit for only $5. Thank you to Apostrophe for sponsoring this episode. And now back to the show.
What is the jitney?
I think it's just a bus.
It's like the Greyhound that just takes you from Manhattan all the way to like Montauk or the Hamptons.
I don't know why that's
basically.
like sounds very romantic.
JITNEY.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's also one, I think, that goes to like Atlantic City,
damn.
Okay.
but I think it just means like a bus that goes to a specific place. A
Okay,
jitney.
I like
But
it.
was
That's
this
nice.
service that you used tailored for cats and people trying to get their cats there? Was it like a cat taxi or
Yeah,
like,
pet taxi. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah,
So did
yeah.
you fly with the cats?
So we flew with the cats. We tried to sedate them, and Cal was sedated, but Primrose is such a little bitch. I love her, but she sussed us out very quickly and was like, I won't be tamed. You can't do this. And we were like, girl, you're going to want this. Like, it's so hard to explain to a pet, like, you need to take this or you're going to be a nightmare and you're going to have a heart attack. Like, that was I was so afraid because she's so skittish. Like, you guys know, Cal is very like,
pick me up.
He doesn't give a fuck, but Primrose is like very skittish.
Do they ride in the cabin with you, or do you have to put them under?
Yeah, so they ride in the cabin with you.
Okay, that's nice.
We thought originally that maybe you might be able to put your pets underneath in the hold if you're going to the UK, but you still have to do a quarantine and everything if you do that, which we didn't want to do. So I think it has the same laws as like Australia and New Zealand, where you could, I'm not 100% sure about this because we didn't go this route, but it would be like 6 months quarantine.
Oh my
by themselves.
God.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That's a changed animal, by the way. Like, I feel so bad for animals who go through that. Like,
Yeah,
I hate
it's
that for
trauma.
them. Yeah,
Like
it's
a
crazy.
prison sentence.
It's nuts. But okay, so we tried to sedate them. Cal got loopy as fuck, which I was so happy about. And then Primrose would not take her medication.
So Will took it instead.
Yeah, so Will took it instead. He should have.
Some ketamine.
Oh, get out
Yeah.
of here. But yeah, so we put them in their little carriers and then we drove to LAX. And then the first thing you have to do is you have to take them out of the carrier to walk them through the x-rays. So, I mean,
Like
but,
the one where the luggage goes through?
yeah, you have to walk them through, like, you know, like the physical x-ray.
Oh,
Yeah.
the one that you go
Right.
through.
Yeah, yeah,
Just like, come on,
Yeah,
come
go-
through,
come
come through.
on.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Stay, put your hands up.
But they, like, first of all, they treated us so poorly because it was like, I'm holding this cat. Like, I had Primrose and Will had Cal, and Cal was already, like, stoned, so it didn't matter. But I had Primrose, and she's like, never been in this
Yeah.
situation before. Brand new smells, very bright, loud equipment, people everywhere. And she's like clinging her claws into my chest and like up my neck. And I'm like, ugh. I'm like trying to get her through. And as I'm like walking, I like go through and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, And I was like, what? And he's like, I need to test your hands for bombs. Like he was like, I need to test for explosives. And I was like, I'm big. I actually can let my hands go because she's clinging to me so hard that she would just hold on. But I'm like, really? So I'm like holding her and he's like taking his time, wiping my hands. I'm like, you want me to suffer? You are looking for suffering here. Yeah.
Do the cats have to be microchipped as well?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Yeah, they have to be microchipped.
Yeah,
Where do
yeah,
they
yeah.
put the microchip in them?
Well, they usually do it like at the nape of their neck. There's a standard place so that anywhere you take them, they can scan it without worrying about it.
Yeah.
But they can travel. Like microchips, because they're so small, it can get like lost in the folds between like
Ooh.
yeah.
Do you get like access to like can your phone like
Yeah.
pick up the tracker? Like, does it have like Apple Pay or like you can just?
I don't
know.
think it's live
It's like
GPS.
an RFID chip though.
Yes.
But like, if there was something like just to verify that this is my cat, I don't know. Like,
They
can your
should
phone
have
be
that.
able to
They
probably
pick
have an
up
app.
on the tracker.
They should have an app.
It'd be amazing if they did, but honestly, one William Derbyshire Rick Starbusher would have figured out what that app was if that did
Yeah.
exist. He bought like a scanner on Amazon that actually worked. You could like tell where it was, but he was so paranoid because he heard about one guy who flew his dog to France, did the whole like pet journey, so stressful, got to the border, had checked the microchip, knew that the dog had a microchip, and when the border officers checked,
They couldn't find it.
It had slipped somewhere into his skin.
What?
Yeah, and like it was just gone. So Will was so paranoid. He probably checked that microchip every 15 minutes while we were on that flight.
Okay, it's
Yep,
good.
Yep,
It's good.
Yep.
It's good.
It has not been lost in a fold. Nope.
And so you got to France, and then you got to rent a car, or you go on a train.
Yeah, so we had a pet taxi who was going to come pick us up.
Okay.
Richard and Holly, shouts out to Richard and Holly. Loved them so much. They were so sweet, such characters. Oh my God. I mean, you can imagine people who like ferry pets
Animals.
Yeah.
repeatedly. Like they would do, I think they told me they would do 3 trips sometimes a day, which means 15 hours.
Oh man.
Like that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's a full
Doing
day's
the
work of
Lord's
just
work.
So you're separated.
Truly.
You give them the animals, and they transport it across.
Oh no, girl. We got in the van with them.
Oh, you're all together.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the family
boy.
stays together. The family stays together.
Okay.
And after like an 11-hour flight from Los Angeles, you're like so tired. And also we were running off fumes because we were so stressed for the cats. Primrose had started drooling and like was having like hyperventilating, like having a little panic attack on takeoff. So I was like, so she's dead. I was like, so we're about to land and I have a dead cat. Can't believe that. But she ended up being okay. But when you land, you're like, I just want to sleep. Like I don't want to do.
Chat.
I don't
No,
want to
I wanna do the
chat.
small talk.
I don't want to do it. But then we met Richard and Holly, and first of all, they were really sweet. But also, this is with so much peace and love. Richard was like such a chatterbox. Like literally.
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe that he was like able to like breathe and talk at the same time. Like it was like an impressive feat of like the human
Are
spirit.
these French or British people?
British people.
Okay.
Okay.
But they had been like everywhere. They were really interesting people. They had some crazy shit going on. So it was like very much like these 2 anarchists driving us for 5 hours to London.
Wow.
Yeah. They were sick though. They were really, really nice. But then it was that thing where I was like, I'm so tired, but I'm also an extrovert. So I'm like, these people are really interesting. I want to talk to them because they're very interesting people.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I'm glazed. Like my eyes are gone.
Do you have
I'm
a
like
car?
so
Would love to
tired.
take you out to dinner maybe next week once I get a full night's sleep.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally.
Does that radio work at all? Can we?
Yeah, no, it was crazy. But yeah, you drive down to Calais, which is kind of like near where the channel is. You just go just past Calais, and then that's also where a lot of people try to cross the channel. Like if you're trying to like smuggle yourself into England, people go through Calais.
Oh.
Yeah.
From the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they'll
That's
get in
where it
boats
goes
and
down.
stuff and try to go across. But that's where also it's like the shortest part between
France and
Yeah.
Right.
UK.
Yeah, the UK. So anyways, then you get in the channel. But here's the crazy thing, okay? In my head, when I was like, you're going through the channel, I almost was picturing like a ferry type situation where like you're in a big, wide thing and then all the cars are kind of like stacked up almost like a parking lot that's moving.
Yeah.
And then that goes through the channel. Well, that's insane because the channel's not that big.
Right.
It's like
Oh.
a 2-lane road basically. So what they do is you drive into like a giant hangar, not a hangar, what do you call that? Like a thing where you would store a storage bay. Like
Okay. Like a shipping
shipping
container.
crate. Yeah,
yes, a shipping
yeah.
crate. You drive into a little shipping crate. They lock your wheels in place, and then you're just in a shipping crate under, like in a tube under the sea.
That's how it moves you
Yes!
through?
Yes!
Oh, I thought it was just a drive-through tunnel.
So you don't have to actually drive.
No, you get put on like a giant train. Like it ends
That
up,
makes sense.
yeah,
But when you look out the window, is it just pitch black?
you can't see anything. You're under the sea.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah,
at
I know it's
all.
freaky. That part's freaky, but it was kind of cool because you like get out and they have bathrooms and they have like it's like a little ecosystem.
How many
down
other
there.
people are in your crate?
Just us.
Just us.
We have
you
our
can
own
get
little
out of the
private
car.
bathroom. Yeah, you can get out of it.
How much is that trip just over in the car?
That little chunk, I think, is like 60 pounds.
Wow.
I don't
you
think
drive
it's
a car
expensive.
into like a little box,
Yeah.
and in that box you can get out.
Yeah.
How does the box go back?
They literally just reverse it. I watched it happen.
Empty. Or wait,
Yeah.
someone else then gets
Yes.
in that crate and then it goes back the other way.
Is
Yeah.
there
Oh.
Wi-Fi while you're underneath?
Yes, there is Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. I would
Yeah.
that would be okay.
What
Yeah.
an architectural just marvel.
I know.
Or engineering marvel.
It's kind of wild. And like the from what I saw when I was walking around, I think maybe most people who do the channel are sort of people who are looking to do adventures, like European adventures or something.
Yeah.
Because it looked like the great outdoors everywhere. Like it was a lot of like trees and like pine trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Like them trying to show
Yeah.
you like beautiful vistas before you go to Europe. So it was kind of an interesting. It felt like I was going camping.
How
Yeah.
long is the ride?
I think it was like I want to say it was 90 minutes,
Oh,
but it
that's-
was
okay.
pretty short. It wasn't like, well, maybe I'm right about that. Now I'm not sure. That was such a blur. I feel like I was high the entire
Yeah,
time.
that's a big schlep.
Oh my!
Yeah, huge schlep, big time.
I've always wanted to go through the Panama Canal. Have you ever seen videos of the Panama Canal?
You mean the American Canal?
Oh, is it
Yeah,
now?
come on.
No.
Are they going to try to? That's not. That's Panama. Panama
I know,
owns
I'm
the Panama.
I'm being funny because
Okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mexico's
But
Gulf.
just the
Yeah.
idea how they're able to like make those like temporary dams and like the water goes up and then the boat goes down and then they're able to like
Yes.
keep you moving through layers and layers of like
Quite cool.
of water that's been
Yep.
held. Fascinating how someone
Yes.
just figured that out.
I think that's very cool. Also, I feel like that's very like ancient human stuff. Like we
Yes.
love pushing things around on water.
Yeah,
that's
how
a big
they
thing
say
we
the
do.
pyramids were made too, is they just floated all the bricks up.
Through with water?
That's one of the theories. Yeah.
Wait, what? Would it have been light enough for that?
That like I think the inside they used water on the inside and they pumped water in and then they would put a brick on the inside, float it up to the next level, put it on the next level, then put another brick, finished it, and then they emptied out all the water. That's a theory. I don't know.
really fucking
we
cool.
have no idea.
So how are the aliens involved in that?
They're in New Jersey working with Governor Chris Christie on
That's making so much sense now.
the
Okay.
alien. Those are gone now, right? We don't hear about those aliens anymore.
the UFOs that were like or the
Drones over New
drones
Jersey.
over New Jersey. Did they ever figure out what that was?
Some people just say it was literally just airplanes, but everyone just decided to not know the difference between airplanes and stars and drones. So
Yeah.
nobody really knows.
Well, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really know the difference, so that's fine.
Yeah. Like there's some theories that it was literally just all airplanes.
Then
it
why
was,
was it
like,
so
low.
confusing? Like, why
I don't
was it
know.
so
It was
confusing?
one of these like mass hysteria like things. And even on the Reddit, I was on it and someone posted like, "Oh, I saw a drone today." And they posted the photo, and then someone zoomed in. It was like, "This literally says Alaska Airlines on the tail. This is an airplane. Like, what are we doing here, folks?" But it's if you just take a picture of something flashing in the sky, and I tell you it's a UFO, you're like,
Yeah.
maybe it is.
Yeah.
But no one knows. I don't know.
Have
Do
you guys
believe-
heard about?
Oh, no. Bring it up.
Okay,
Spell
fine.
it.
Fine, I fucking will, I guess. Have you guys heard about the religious organization that worships aliens? That's like a Buddhist like monkhood in Thailand that they rest at like one of the tallest mountains in Thailand and they worship aliens because they see them all the time.
Will was telling me about this when I was
Yeah.
over at your house.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he
yeah,
knows
yeah.
a guy who's like kind of doing a documentary about this.
Oh yeah, his friend Charlie, who is insane and wonderful.
Are you thinking about joining?
Well, now I kind of want to. I'm like, whoa.
Just to go witness what are
Just to see what the deal is, like
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's very interesting because the person who started the religious organization, I'm going to like lightly call it a cult. I think it's like cult light because I
Okay.
don't think they're like doing anything sexual and I don't think they're abusing anybody. They're just like really obsessed with aliens.
Yeah.
But they do have a singular leader who's like at the head of it, which is like, you know,
That checks one of the
Yeah.
boxes.
yeah.
Yep.
And he's like a war veteran from Thailand. So it's like, okay, we're checking some culty boxes for
Okay,
sure.
yeah, but
But he said that like an alien came down, did not probe him. I asked Will, and he said nothing about probing, but more so that he just felt an alien presence telling him that he should commune with him. So now they use like traditional Buddhism, like the practicing like tenets of Buddhism, and they do that in communion with the aliens.
and they're able to see them. Like,
Yeah,
come.
apparently. Yeah, see him
I'd
all
go
the time.
witness it.
I'd go witness.
I just hope the facilities are good and that there's good food and like the dinner conversation's nice.
I think it would be sparkling.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, it's probably going to be mostly vegan stuff because isn't it Buddhism? You don't eat meat. Is that right?
I think so.
Maybe.
Is that right?
Might
I thought
be.
it's mostly plant based. I could
Okay.
have sworn.
Do you believe in ghosts? Have you seen a ghost?
I've never seen a ghost. I'd love to believe in ghosts. I think that'd be such a fun way to live.
Yeah.
But I'm just like a very skeptical person.
Right.
And I live with cats, which always sound like ghosts. Like,
That's the bump in the night is just truly it's the cat.
it's a cat, yeah.
Yeah, I believe like spaces have energy, and I do believe that like I
agree.
guess in that energy could be like spirits living within it. I mean, if you just walk into like an old theater, you feel
Yeah.
that like energy has happened.
Vibes
here.
are strong.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I don't
feel that.
disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you a consummate skeptic or
Of ghosts?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, that's not a
Of
thing.
ghostals?
I don't believe in that at all.
you think it's just all gas pockets?
Ghosts,
Yeah.
like a
Loving this.
A translucent
Just
being
has unfinished business
with a
and
bed
just wants
sheet
to-
going, woo.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
I hear you. Again, I wish that was true because also I think they would like serve. Like I think ghosts would have like the best fashion sense.
Well,
so like,
what's the science behind? Like, what is the not science, but like, what's the? Is it the spirit of a dead person? Is it the soul of a dead person?
energy and like frequency that we cannot like see and
Of
like
the
physically touch, in that it's like around us. Yes, possibly of the dead.
or they've slipped into a different dimension that we're like unaware
I
of.
also think like parts of people's like spirit can like inhabit places as well. Like I do believe that like yes, that if they are a ghost, that doesn't mean that they have not gone on to the afterlife as well. I think they can be like in both spaces.
Okay, so this is a perfect segue into my favorite question, which I feel like I'm always asking people, is like, how grisly does the murder have to be for you to not buy a house that's like 50% off?
Love this question.
Right?
Love it.
Right.
So I would say if an elderly person, you're already going for murder.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
saying murder because if
someone
it's
dies-
death,
okay.
I'm like, people die in buildings all the time.
Right, but what if it was a really tragic accident? What if a little girl drowned in a pool in the backyard of a house that she wanted to buy, and the entire neighborhood knows that your house is the house where the little girl died in the backyard? Could you deal with that?
You're
'Cause
worried about what other people think.
But that's a good factor.
yes,
That's a really good
I
factor.
am mostly about like perceptions of other people in the neighborhood. Our parents can be comfortable just even
people-
being in my backyard, having a great cocktail in front of this pool where they know that that adorable little girl lived here and died in the pool, and it was an accident.
Yeah. Okay.
I worry about that.
Are we doing the barbecue at my house? No, because
So,
you're saying no one's going to come over.
I think I could possibly deal with like an accident happening.
Right.
And I could deal
not
with
to
the
a
murder.
child.
I could
Not
deal
to a
with the murder,
child.
but the murder had to happen outside.
Oh,
the
not
house.
in the house.
It
Why?
has to happen out in the backyard.
Because you don't want it to the energy to like seep into the walls, or is it
Yeah,
like
if there's
okay?
blood splatter on the walls, I don't know. If it was a big enough house and I knew that there's just one room where it happened,
Yeah.
I could kind of deal with it.
Charles Manson?
John Benet Ramsey, though, is the one house I could see myself, if I was just an eccentric, just multi-millionaire, buying that house and totally living in it.
I know
and
you've
having
thought about
parties
this.
And just being
I
like,
know
this
you've
is
thought about
fun.
this.
So that is where
The line is drawn.
Yeah, where
but
do
that's yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah.
Where do you draw the line?
Well, I've always said like I'm not really worried about like I'm not worried about ghosts like making my life hard. You know what I mean? Like if I live in the house, I'm not worried about someone being like, ooh. So I feel the same way where it's more like societal expectations. Like I wouldn't want to live in a famous murder house because I wouldn't want people to be outside my house taking pictures.
That's
You know what I
there's
mean?
that too.
Yes, there's
Like,
that.
Like
That's
the
what I
Breaking
wouldn't
Bad
want.
house or one of those houses where
Yes.
the couple like brings out shotguns because they're
Yeah.
just so upset.
Because they're irritated by how busy it
Yeah.
is all the time. So like that. But if it was like kind of like a low key one, like if it was like I don't even know, like I have it in my head. I keep thinking like ritual murder. Like, you know what I mean?
Like Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, I'm like, if that happens in a house, I'm like, I don't know. There's something kind of slay about that.
Like somebody was like held against their will and like they were murdered. Like it wasn't like a crime of passion. It was just like some true like suffering went down in the home.
I think that's worse.
Yeah, right.
That's
Well,
so
what do you
much
mean,
worse.
Ritualistic. Wait, sorry.
I
Am
think
I
I
dumb?
meant.
Like,
I think I meant more
ritualistic?
like I don't know, like. It
Like
sounds
in a,
really
like if
dark.
A cult killed somebody.
Or like say, because in my head I'm always like, it's a husband who ends up murdering his entire family and then kills himself. I'm like, that I
Yes.
could live in that house.
You could.
I could live in that house. I couldn't live in a house where people were kept in a basement for like years. I couldn't do
Right,
that.
like a torture house.
Couldn't live in a torture house. Could
Yeah,
not.
that-
You could live in a murder-suicide house?
Yeah.
It all went down in an hour.
I get
think
such a
about that-
discount.
I think about that one all the time because there was a house in my town that went down, and it was a gorgeous house, and I was always like keeping an eye on it on the market.
Here in LA?
No, back in like Carrollton. But I was wondering who's going to buy that house.
And did
Who
anyone
would
buy it?
Yeah, somebody lives in
Murder,
it. Clearly.
suicide?
Murder suicide. Dad woke up, killed the entire family, and then killed himself. Like
Yeah,
five,
but
like
here's the
five
thing.
people. But that's room by room by room.
That's wild.
That's
There's no safe
The murder
room.
went down in the whole house.
But
it's not.
it
like,
also happened so quickly. Like that energy came and left.
I hear you.
It's like it was a
One bad day?
It was like an accident. Yeah.
It's a very bad
It was
day.
one bad day.
He had a bad day.
You just got to throw a new layer of paint on there, wave some sage, maybe like hang up some artwork, and it's over. But if you have
Yeah.
children trapped in a basement for 7 years,
That's bad
that
juju.
energy
That's
is-
really, really bad. That's
Yeah.
bad stuff.
I don't like
completely
that.
agree. No, that's really, really bad. I also think that there is something in my head where I'm like, if I was in the murder house, right? I bring good energy. I'm cleansing the house.
Yeah.
Like I'm bringing
I'm
a good
acknowledging
vibe.
the spirits.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
ghosts haunt people who deny them.
Yes.
And refuse
Yes.
to acknowledge that their existence and that their trauma happened.
Isn't valid. You're invalidating
Yes.
them in death.
That's what I
Yes.
usually am like. Spirits, if you're here, I fuck with you. I hear you out. You don't need to fuck with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly how I feel.
Apparently in car crashes, they don't need to reveal if someone died in the car.
Really?
That is like legally they don't need to disclose that.
Car crashes, if somebody died in a car, what do you, so you mean
Like, if you're buying a used car
that
and-
had been in a car crash.
they don't have to disclose if the person died in the car.
I actually feel like that would be more important to know because then I would want to know about like the safety level of the car.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I would
wouldn't be
actually.
buying a car that had like a car that was in a crash that was so bad it killed the person.
I mean, it could just be that they weren't wearing a seatbelt and they just flew through the windshield. So
That's a really good
it's only a
point.
windshield. Like,
Wow, that's a really, really good point.
Yeah,
Actually,
but then technically they didn't die in the car. They died
on the
outside of the car.
street. Well,
Yeah.
you don't know the point of impact could have been.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap a neck.
We'll be right back after a quick word from today's sponsor, DraftKings. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns.
Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick.
There's available lines and odds from the DraftKings Sportsbook app for upcoming games. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code MattKing. That is code MattKing for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
And now back to the episode.
But also, if you are renting, I don't think they need to disclose it either, right? If someone dies, I think it's only if you're buying the house.
So what's up with that? Okay,
Like-
renters' rights.
I think you have the right to. They don't tell you until you ask, right?
No, I think they have to disclose it.
Do they have
I
to?
think so. I think it's in the lease or the contract. It has to be disclosed.
But not on the Zillow listing.
No, not on the Zillow
They
listing.
bait you to get your interest in the property,
Yes.
and fall in love with it. But
Yes.
I'm so curious, when is the moment they go, like you're about to sign and they go,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, there's this document acknowledging.
No, I think
Yeah.
if you have a good real estate agent, they will look for that like box in the agreement when you get the sign up. I think that's the point.
Secondary question then.
Yes.
Okay, I had a friend who was moving into a place in San Francisco and she was choosing between 2 apartments.
Mm-hmm.
One of the apartments, she was like, yeah, someone died in there like 2 weeks ago, but I went to go see it and it was like all fine. And I was like, oh, is it like, I don't know what questions to ask
Was it
around
like
that.
an old lady in a rocking chair?
I was like, what's the situation? And she was like, oh yeah, it was an old lady who passed away. It was her home for like a really long time. So, you know, but I'm like, then they can't possibly say someone has died in the home every single time, right? Like, do you think it refreshes if a home is old enough? They're
Right.
like, we're not
Oh,
going
the
to. Do you
previous
see what I'm
tenant?
saying?
So 3 owners ago, an old lady died.
Yeah.
Here.
No, I
Do you
think
have
it's
to
I
say
think it's
that?
it's probably per owner.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like a.
That'd be a good
Previous
plot
owner?
for like a movie that you're hired to go live in a house right after somebody's been murdered to be like the buffer period to get the case like
You just move
off
from
the
like
record.
you move to
Yes.
different houses for like 6 months at a time just to help
And
a real
you're
estate
moving
agent.
into these
Yeah.
like potentially haunted places.
That's pretty good,
That's
Matt.
I might be onto something.
I like the screenplay
I might be onto
opportunity.
something.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What tone are you striking though, or is this like a
I
horror
see it
tone,
more
or-
like as like a young adult like cheap little like Netflix like
But are we like
80s
comedic in tone?
horror flick?
Like a little like
a little
almost like
campy,
like a Palm Springs.
Like you know that book, My Best Friend's
love that.
Exorcism, and they made it a movie called like My Best Friend's Exorcism.
I don't know that one.
It's like kind of set in the 80s, and it's
Similar
it's a
vibes.
little like campy kind of. That's how I kind of see it. But it actually could go any way. Calling it right now. If you make that story, I'm coming after you.
Yeah, literally IP baby.
Yep.
Speaking of films, have you guys already discussed Oscar noms, or are you guys?
We touched on it on Good Influences, but I feel like we didn't dive deep into it. And I was already in a group chat with you yesterday, and you guys were talking about it so much. I feel like I didn't get around to the text. Yes, Oscar noms have come out, and
You have strong feelings?
I cannot believe Amelia Perez has swept with the nominations. How many nominations? Like 12?
Yeah.
I feel like for almost nearly every category has been nominated. And you know what? Good for them. I've seen it. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my. Pour yourself some cocktails, pop it on, and just laugh at it. I mean, even though looking back, I can see why.
Right.
It is being like nominated for maybe music, costume, makeup, all of it. Because it does check off all those boxes.
The woke agenda?
You know what?
It's the woke left.
It might be the woke left, and I
That's my favorite thing that people get pissed off
woke
about.
left.
Like if they just see like a commercial, it's woke.
It's the woke left.
Yeah.
It's not even left anymore or woke. It's the woke left.
Listen.
I get it.
Yeah.
Totally.
But the silver lining is that Selena Gomez did not get nominated. So.
Which I feel like that really, they said maybe not this one.
All
Maybe
respect to
not.
Selena Gomez fans. I
Yeah.
think Selena Gomez has had a very great career.
Illustrious, some might
And
say.
she is talented in her own ways. Just I don't think.
Did she win the Emmy for
Only
Only
Murders?
Murders in the Building?
I feel like she's been nominated, but I don't think she's ever won it.
Why do you not want her to win?
I
What's
don't
your
think
beef?
she's that good of an actress.
Damn,
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry, Selena Gomez.
Okay.
Wow.
I feel like I've been in rooms with Selena Gomez, and I'm always worried that's like.
The opinions shared on this podcast today are
Yeah.
not reflective of two of the people in the room.
She just can't she can't cry. She can't shed a tear.
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
We were just at a party where she was at.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was seeing this podcast.
But you didn't say that to her directly
Sometimes
to her
I, like,
face.
And Matt went up to her and was like, listen, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah. Can I give you some constructive criticism actually real quick?
Because sometimes I think, oh, a celebrity's not gonna see my own opinion of them, but then I don't know, maybe they do.
It's the damn TikTok clips. No celebrities are
Yes.
watching the full hour.
Yes.
But if you get clipped and that clip goes viral, it's so much worse than if it's in the context of an hour conversation.
I feel like you've just sort of set yourself up to be clipped now. So
Well,
congratulations.
Sorry,
on that.
sorry, Celine. You got to keep an eye
Caught
out.
me.
It's okay. I would just like to see her cry.
Yeah, hearing you on that one.
Who are you liking then?
Okay, so I was saying earlier that I just saw The Brutalist, and I do understand Adrian Brody is absolutely incredible. He is unbelievable in the movie, so I totally get it. I also thought the direction was really gorgeous, and the budget wasn't that big for that film, which
Right. It was
$10
$10 million.
Yeah, which
over
sounds
the course of 7 years
Yes.
they've been working on it as
and
well.
on film. You have to remember, when you're shooting stuff on film,
This Division is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they shot it
Yeah.
on, which is what Alfred Hitchcock shot North by Northwest on.
And it's
really?
so
I need to see
expensive.
this in
Yeah.
theaters.
Yeah. It is so expensive to shoot on film like that, and it is such a specialized group of people who can also handle film like that now. So you have to go to very union heavy people who know how to handle all of that. Anyways, I thought that was all really, really impressive. I did think though that while I was watching it and I was thinking about the budget and thinking about how long the film was, did you guys feel like you were a little disappointed that you didn't really get to see the buildings at the end?
I didn't see it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen
Mike
it yet?
has not seen it.
It doesn't. Don't worry. That's not a huge spoiler.
That's okay.
Pictures of them.
You saw pictures. You saw renderings.
But you wish we saw more.
I wanted to walk through. I wanted
Yeah.
to see, babe. I wanted an architectural digest.
Yes.
I wanted to be able to see these buildings that we've been talking so much about.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but they couldn't show them because they didn't have the budget.
Did you know going in the title "The Brutalist" that it was about
Brutalism?
brutalism?
Yeah.
Before you saw the movie.
Did you think that it was a sadomasochistic
yeah, what?
relationship?
Yeah. Well, it
Really?
was
That's
15
Baby Girl.
20 minutes into the movie, I go,
Right.
brutalism.
Brutalism.
I went in very
Brutalism.
blind.
But you
to
put the
movie.
lube and the whips away. You're like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
Ron.
The
I thought
candy
it was-
thong gets sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Baby Girl?
I have not seen Baby Girl.
I haven't seen Baby Girl either.
Is that nominated? Or
No,
I
did
don't think
not
so.
You know what I think actually got snubbed? And I said it in our group chat. Nosferatu.
Right.
I loved Nosferatu. And it's also such a hearkening back to old Hollywood. Nosferatu was the film that was kind of never supposed to be seen. Have you
Right.
heard about that drama around that?
the
original?
original Nosferatu
Yeah.
from the 20s?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, was not supposed to be seen.
Yes, because Bram Stoker, who originally wrote Dracula, saw it as IP infringement. So he went around and he basically won a lawsuit against the creators of Nosferatu and said every single copy needs to be burned. He was like, I do not want the representation of my book in this. This is a like stealing of IP.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it like got whittled down, and there were only like 1,000 or so copies floating around, and then someone picked it up in America and started reproducing it.
Whoa.
So we would not even have Nosferatu
if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was impeccable.
Yeah.
I also love that Bill Skarsgård cannot be attractive in any movie. Like he
I
has
didn't know
to be.
it was him for the longest time. I
Yes.
was watching the movie. I go, this guy's great, but when does
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård come in? And then I realized it was
he's there,
him the whole
baby.
time.
He's there, baby. Oh
Is
yeah.
Is it scary? Like, is it like a horror
Did you
movie?
see The Lighthouse?
Yes.
So same director.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's black and white as well. So there you go.
Love The Lighthouse.
Me too. Loved the.
Robert
Why just have
Pattinson,
to spill your beans?
Big fan of that boy.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
He really escaped the Twilight, whatever that was, where people thought he was a one-trick pony. His
Big
career
time.
is insane.
Isn't he doing a new film with
Bong Joon-ho.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of press for it, like in Korea.
Mickey K or Mickey J?
Yes,
Is that what it's called?
something like that.
Yeah. I'm pumped
excited
for that.
to see it. I don't know when it will like be in theaters.
That dude
I
knows
don't
how to
know.
pick a script.
Oh.
Like,
Yes.
Oh.
Good Time.
With
Yeah.
the right directors.
Tenet, he was in a Nolan movie, although that wasn't his biggest one.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he's kind of killed
he's
it.
amazing.
Good Time with the Softy Brothers. That's
what I just
Bad
said.
Oh, sorry. You said Good Time?
Yeah,
You just said that out of your thing?
That's okay. It's
You
just
haven't
funny.
seen it, though.
I did. I saw it twice.
Oh, I thought that was like the one you hadn't watched.
No, I've seen it. You made me watch.
Uncut Gems?
No, you made me
Uncut
watch. The
Gems?
first time I saw it was with you at like
Oh,
2
you're
in the
right.
morning.
You're right.
We got
I'm
back from a
getting-
party, shit faced.
And you watched it too.
to
That's
Matt's-
such a depressing movie to watch at 2 in the morning.
And then I got home at like 4 in the morning, and I was just like, I guess I'm gonna go to bed. I'm
gonna sit with this.
But then I rewatched it again recently, like of clear mind, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
these dudes are so good at making movies.
They
so.
know what's up. They know how to create a really stressful environment
Yes.
where you feel really, really bad for every single person involved.
One of them directed Adam Sandler's new special on Netflix. Have you seen that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is
and
it good?
So
As a comedy special,
it's a
right?
comedy special, but they do like an intro.
Yeah.
It feels like Uncut Gems, where Adam Sandler's like getting accosted by people and like fans, and it's like it feels like Uncut Gems, and then he goes on stage and does comedy, and it's like still looks like Safdie Brothers. It's amazing.
That's quite cool.
Highly encourage
I
watching
want to
it.
see
I
their
love that.
first film called Daddy Longlegs. That was like their first like big indie film that
I
they
haven't
made.
seen that.
Neither have I.
Did
It's, like, about
Longlegs
it-
get nominated for anything? The
No.
Nicolas
No,
Cage movie?
I
I
don't
think
think so.
because like horror, like there can only be like one horror nom that gets all of the categories.
Yeah.
And I feel like The Substance is the one that got
And
it.
I get why, but it was like such a good year for horror that it
Yes.
sucks that
Yeah.
like it sucks that we couldn't like spread the love. You know what I mean? It's like those years where you have really good Oscars years and really bad Oscars years. This is one of those ones where it's like the bad Oscars years was like the year Green Book won.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one
And
was
then
fucking
Coda,
rough. Oh, it was rough.
All
it was
respect
rough.
to the deaf community. It was a great
Completely.
film, but that was like a Disney movie.
It was amazing for visibility, but it was like a Disney Channel original.
Yeah, it's
movie.
like, oh, well, we're all really the same at the end of the day
Yeah.
when you think about it.
Yeah. So, but this
Yeah.
year is one of those years where it feels like there's so many good things that it was like, but why are we doing Amelia Perez in the middle of
Why?
all of this?
Yeah, it ain't it.
Like,
it ain't it.
Original score for Challengers?
Right.
Like-
Totally something. And they won the Golden Globe. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Yeah. No, crazy.
And I think I also read that they're not performing any of the songs this year at the Oscars. Like that's normally a thing where whoever
The original songs?
like all the original songs. So like whoever the artist is, like
Yeah.
if Billie Eilish does a song for James Bond, they'll perform it. They're not doing that this year.
But babe, Wicked.
I know.
No wait.
There are no musical performances of original music, is what I read.
Oh, they just cutting it for time?
I think they're trying to keep viewership high.
But
Which
this
like
is-
I think
this
that's the
is-
most important part.
But that's kind of crazy because Amelia Perez is a musical. And Wicked is a musical.
Yeah.
Like, and also, like,
But some of those, though, like require the cast to be
Right.
performing it. And I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch because the person then has to get out of their dress and they're nominated
Yeah.
for so many categories. They might not
Yeah.
make it back on stage. And I can see that.
you know what's on my bingo card, though?
What?
Is Cynthia fucking spinning and flipping and going all through the air.
You think so?
I think she's going to be flipping around and singing her little heart out. I think it's going to get wild. Yeah.
Yeah, they're claiming it's because of the fires that they're removing the musical performances.
we can't
Well,
be
of
having
course.
that good of a time.
I don't.
They could make it a damn telethon, man.
yeah, wait,
They
they
could be
so
raising
could.
money like during the
Yeah.
the musical performances and stuff.
It does not make sense. The Oscars have shared details about how they will honor the city of Los Angeles amid the devastating wildfires. They will remove original song performances. I don't know how that makes sense.
What?
Yeah.
Because of the wildfires.
But I'm very excited for Conan O'Brien to host.
Me too.
Y'all, I did not even know that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the host.
That has got me fired the fuck up.
His time has come.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
He's the best.
He's done so much for us. I saw him at
truly.
Sugarfish one time. He's massive, by the way.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen him in person?
He's taller than me. I think he's like 6'5". Or
Yeah.
He's huge, and then his hair is like an extra 6 inches. So it's
Yeah.
like he is the largest man I've ever seen,
And
he
it's
was sitting
mostly
down.
legs. Like his legs basically go up to his hair.
Yes, yes, his pants buckle up
Yeah.
here.
You saw him at a Sugarfish.
Yeah, yeah.
Solo?
Yes.
Sona.
You're like he was cheating
Sonar?
on his wife.
No, it was in the Sugarfish in like near Brentwood.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, which makes total sense to me. Yeah.
Oh my God. Didn't his parents just pass away within like 3 days of each other?
Yeah.
And Sona lost her house in the fire as well.
Oh God.
He's had
Yeah.
like, I feel like
They're having a rough year.
a rough year. So
Damn.
out of anybody though.
But
I
I've
feel
been
like he can-
rewatching the old Simpsons episodes that were written by Conan O'Brien.
Unreal.
Oh my
Unreal.
God.
Monorail.
Yeah,
Monorail.
it's those like early seasons of The Simpsons are still unbelievably funny.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're looking for a good laugh amid the current situation we're all facing, go on throw on a couple of season 3 of The Simpsons. You'll have a good time. But I'm excited for Conan to host the Oscars.
And they're sweet. They're really sentimental episodes
Yes.
as well. Like they feel
Yes.
very human, which I
Yes.
think is like such a lovely like thing. It's like absurdist humor and then like very human.
Yes.
Yes.
Emotional
And like
points.
family and
Yeah, it's really
Americana.
sweet. Yeah.
You and Will are watching Mad Men for the first time, right?
We are. We
For the first time.
are.
First time.
I'd seen it before, so I
Okay.
saw it in high school, and like I think I was not prepared. Like my frontal lobe wasn't developed, so like I wasn't ready for how depressing I thought the show was. Like I would finish I was binging them so hard. It was like era of like no friends in high school, sitting in my bedroom, rinsing Mad Men until 3 a.m, and then being like, why am I depressed? But I just remember like coming off of season 2 or season 3. I can't remember which one it was that was the most depressing, but I remember being like, I'm never going to recover from this show. And I have such like a weird feeling. So now I'm rewatching it though. And I'm like, oh, it's because I didn't realize what the themes of this show were.
Right, because as an adult, you're seeing it through a whole nother
Yes.
like lens.
Yes.
You're like basically the same age as the people in the show.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was having like these sense of like, I don't like this show and I don't know why. And it was like, it's because everyone is really sexist and like super racist and like really horrible in the show as a point to show you how bad it was in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Right.
Like into the 1960s. Like it is showing you how bad people were and
It
how
was
normalized.
such a cultural shift too in the 60s. It's the most
Yeah.
fascinating decade to
Yes,
watch.
which is also why it's so fun because then
Yes.
like even now we've just started season 2 and one of the office workers is kind of like starting to become a 60s beatnik. So you're
Yes.
starting to get into that sort of like edgier society in the 1950s into the 1960s. So that's really fun because now I'm like, oh, I get to get excited about these people.
Oh yeah,
And like the
And all,
development
like,
of
the
everything.
historical events that go down, like when like Kennedy gets assassinated and when like the moon landing happens. all of
Spoiler
that.
alert.
I
What
mean, they touch on it all. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
rewatching
Kennedy
it. I
just
love
got
it.
elected in the episodes that I'm watching right now.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. But it's so good. That show is unbelievable. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I watched it while it was airing. So I was like week by week,
Nice.
and yeah, I thought it was a masterpiece, but I haven't seen it since. I really need to revisit it.
Yeah.
It's that theme song is also one that I don't skip.
No, I don't either.
It's so good.
It's short enough that like
Yeah.
you don't feel like you're losing anything by listening to it.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
And just the visual is cool. He's falling like it. Yeah, but whoever did invent the skip intro button, God bless that
Gorgeous.
designer
Oh
engineer.
yeah.
Yeah.
That person has saved like probably millions of years of the global humanity's time.
Saved lives,
by
truly.
by like you could just. It's amazing.
I love it. I love it so
we
much.
need more innovation like that in this country.
Yeah, totally. And then the same thing to the person who invented the roll on to the next episode. That's
That
also
is-
crazy. That's a crazy one.
Yes.
I think
That's big.
Netflix was the OG on that, and it used to be a good minute
Yeah.
while it counted down, and now it's like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, boop, boop, boop,
You don't have
it's
enough-
starting countdown. Like yeah.
You don't even get a
have to-
choice.
you can't even find the remote to
No.
like stop it if you
No,
want.
you're in the
It's-
next episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I kind of appreciate it because like if I'm working out or like I'm on like a stationary bike or something, I want something to just roll on. So I mean, kind of lit.
Yeah.
Kind of
Perfect.
good.
I saw a good life pro tip though that if you're trying to not binge, stop watching in the middle of an episode
Whoa.
because the episodes are made that you want to watch the next one. So if you want to just like be in the story and feel like, okay, I can go to bed now, you stop in the middle and then you just maybe rewind it for a few seconds and then you're like,
Okay.
okay, I'm back in it.
I hear that.
And it makes it a lot easier to like go to
night.
bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing that with The Sopranos, and then I saw it as a life pro tip like a week later. I was like, "There's something in the air here."
Yeah. I've
But-
never seen The Sopranos.
Me neither.
Oh,
I know.
what?
I gotta watch The
I think I've
Sopranos.
watched the first season, and I realized it was kind of anxiety-inducing.
Well, because he's having panic attacks the whole time, right?
Yeah.
I know
Yes.
that's kind of a giveaway. but
Right.
it's
No,
for-
that's the
That's the
point of
plot,
the show.
right?
Is
Is
he
that-
is a mafioso that goes to therapy.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
also takes place in the late '90s, early 2000s when that is super shunned upon, and they
Yeah.
it's like a big secret that he goes to therapy. He's not allowed to talk about it because men don't go to therapy. It's amazing.
Okay.
Should we do the Inside the Actor Studio questions?
Oh,
This is like
sure.
Arden's first time being on the pod, so
That's a great point, Matt
we
King.
usually do this with first-time guests.
Yes.
Do you remember the show Inside the Actor Studio?
Yeah, babe.
There were 10 questions
Yep.
that were asked by the host.
You
the
pulled them up?
Yes.
I got him right here.
Okay. And then-
So
I'm into it.
the first, and you can take as long as you want, short as you want. Just answer as you feel.
yeah.
Okay.
What is your favorite word?
Ooh. Perspicacity.
Definition, please.
Run that back.
Perspicacity, it's like a vivaciousness. Like
Okay,
it's like
well, you can't use bigger words to describe big words.
She has great vocabulary.
Well,
you really do.
The
You
reason why I know this
phenomenal.
word, perspicacity, is because it's actually a shop in Destin, Florida. And I remember reading it as a kid and being like, perspicacity. That is
It's
like
the
the
name of a
coolest.
store.
Yeah, but it's also a word that
Okay.
means like, I don't know, like a zest for life or like something.
A joie de vivre.
A joie de vivre, yeah,
Okay.
perspicacity. But it can also be like a personality trait, like you have perspicacity.
Are you throwing this word around in your day-to-day
Never,
vocab?
never. It's just that when you asked that question, I was like, that's a word that's awesome, and no one ever uses it.
It's a great. I've never heard that word before
Yeah,
in my life.
perspicacity.
That's a great fucking word.
Next question is, what is your least favorite word?
Ooh, least favorite word. Oh my god. I don't know. It would have to be something kind of like, I don't know. I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like moist. Because
Right.
like I actually love the word moist.
I get so nervous whenever we ask that question to a guest because if they say moist, it's kind of like, I don't think anyone said it on this show.
Yeah.
But it's always like, please just don't say that. Like the Bo Burnham thing.
yeah.
Where have you know what I'm talking about?
You know what my least favorite word is? Injustice. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. If moist is definitely not it.
I think I would say mumps.
Mumps.
Mumps is a bad word. Mumps.
The disease.
Yeah, it's usually paired with measles and mumps.
Yeah, mumps.
Making a comeback. RFK.
2025, mumps are back.
Now, what turns you on? It doesn't have to be like sexually. It can just be like creatively,
Intellectually.
intellectually. What turns you on?
Oh, well, to give an example recently, there's this artist that I saw on Instagram who makes like little flower sculptures out of cardboard. Like she paints flower sculptures out of cardboard.
Oh, I've seen this.
And then she stands them up in her room and then she dresses herself in like period like garb. And then she takes photos of herself with all of these like cardboard flowers everywhere and like cardboard little like vignettes. And then she oil paints that setup. Like she takes
Onto a painting?
yeah.
Or wait,
So she takes the picture of herself wearing like as a muse in front of all of these like cardboard flowers and stuff. And then she paints like with detail
wow.
that scene. So like people who iterate on something in a really unique way turns me on.
Yes.
Love that.
Are you
Yeah.
familiar with the artist C.J. Hendry?
No.
Australian artist, kind of similar. She'll just take like a giant, let's say a white sheet.
Yeah.
She'll take a handful of sequins, throw them up in the air, let all the sequins land, all these different colors, and then make an oil painting
Can you
of
send
that.
that to me?
I'll show it to you right now. She just posted this today. I was like, that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
I love that. Okay. I already like the color of the sequence, I also have to say.
Oh, and
Is
then
that the
that's it
painting?
painted.
Yeah.
That's so
Well, no, she does.
impressive.
It's colored pencil. She does.
That's so cool.
my gosh, it looks
That's
so realistic.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
See, that's such a good example of it. It's like I just love seeing people doing something crazy, and I could never be like, oh, I'm gonna be the person that throws a bunch of sequins and then does a
Yeah.
color pencil drawing of it. But I just think it's so impressive when people have that brain. That turns me on.
Next question is, what turns you off?
Ooh, what turns me off? I had to look to make sure you weren't wearing it like a quarter zip.
Oh, you hate the quarter zips.
I hate a quarter zip.
They've been pushing quarter zips lately.
Yeah, it feels very like bro. And if you wear a vest with a quarter zip, like I'm shuddering. I'm gonna run.
So San Francisco, not the town
Yes,
for you.
I'm never gonna be in San Francisco. No.
The quarter zip is like where it goes like
almost
this.
bought a quarter zip the other day. I saw one that was kind of my style.
It goes up to the neck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a
But
collar.
usually
But they
they'll, like,
never
fold
wear
it
it,
down.
and I hate that also. I hate
What?
a faux collar like that.
What's a faux collar?
Like if it's zipped all the way up
yeah.
and it goes like, I'm like, yeah, that feels functional. But when it goes like flaps down, I'm like, ugh. Like that's so gross.
What about a turtleneck? A classic?
Love a turtleneck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love a turtleneck.
Timeless.
Love a roll. Like love a roll neck when it rolls down a little bit.
Yeah, like my Steve Jobs costume.
Yes, I think that's very cute.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Your favorite curse word?
Ooh, I mean, fuck is my most prevalent, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. And
I think that's a good one.
What sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise do I love? I love the sound that Primrose and Cal make when you like poke them when they're fast asleep and they go like,
Oh.
they make like a little, and I mean a sweet poke, not like a, but like it's just them
They don't wake
acknowledging.
up. It's just
yeah, it's just them sort of being like, oh.
Now, what is your
What
least
sound
favorite?
or what sound or noise do you dislike?
Yeah.
Like topical Trump's voice. Like
Honestly,
100%.
when he won the election, that was one of the most disappointing things. Is just another 4 years
Girl.
of his face and his voice, and I'm just like,
I drank so heavily the night that I realized that was like election night. I was like, I am literally going to go into a coma over this.
Yeah, I
It's
started
just-
drinking
Wake
wine
me
at
up.
like 3 p.m.
Yeah, I was like, wake
And
me
I
up
had
when
like
it's
3
over.
monitors open looking at like every like infographic
Yep.
of like
Yep.
that voice and his. I also, this is my most recent photo in my camera roll. Is someone posted a picture of Donald Trump, what he would look like without his gender affirming hair. So it's without his spray tan or his fake
my
hair.
God.
I'm so scared of that. Why
Like-
does he kind of look like who's Angelina Jolie's dad?
John Voight.
John Voight. He's kind of giving John Voight a little bit.
Yeah, and it's funny that like they refer to the spray tan and the fake hair as a self-affirming or gender affirming hair.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, totally.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That's hard. I think, well,
Get the
okay.
last one.
So I feel like there's a profession that I would attempt if I could start over as like a baby and be like really good at it from when I was like little.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in that case, it would be something like a race car driver. Because that's like
race
wild.
car driver.
Yeah, like
Like-
women have not dominated that space.
Yeah, it's like really only like Danica
And you're going
Patrick.
like this, and you're going like this.
Yeah.
And you're going like this. I think we've got the same anatomy. I think we could work on that.
So you not wish, but if you could do it again, your parents would have been like, listen, we're going to buy your race car for your 5th birthday.
Arkansas would have been a perfect place to have like grown up being a race car driver.
Right?
There's like
That's
plenty
what
of
I'm
like
saying.
land and like probably tracks, and it's a good scene to
Yes,
get
Matt,
started. And
you
just like
get it.
middle America.
It is
You
a
hear me.
workout though. Like
No, I know
the
you
training
have
for
to,
it.
The abs are crazy. The
abs
are
are crazy. The neck is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like when you turn the wheel, you have to
Yeah.
have your traps. You got to be pretty ripped,
Totally.
which you could do.
And I'm saying also, by the way, I'm saying no disrespect to race car drivers. Like y'all are in your bag. Really respect that for
Yeah.
you. So I'm not like saying anything about that.
Apologies to the race car driver community.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, you guys. But also, like the other thing is you have to be kind of light, like a jockey.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you do because
Yeah,
you want
no,
your
it's-
car to be light. You want you need to be light. And so I'm like, ladies, step the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
My A cups, my B cups.
Do
Step the
they
fuck up.
separate gender for NASCAR, or did Danica Patrick participate in the men's
I'm
races?
not sure. That's a great question.
No, she races with the guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Yes, that's why they don't. That's why they say, "Lady and gentlemen, start your engines." Like lady singular, because
Wow.
she's usually the only like lady out. On
That's pretty cool.
There,
That's
there's rarely
cute.
two, but yeah, there's not that many female drivers for them to have like a whole separate like race and
WAS
category
car.
for it.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's a lot of men.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
a
feel like
good one.
surprise
That's
me.
Yeah, that is
really
a really good one.
Right?
Are there any others? I want to keep plugging your brain.
Well, I feel like very early on, I heard a lot about like female surfers because of who was the female surfer that lost her arm to a shark bite?
I don't know.
That
her
was
name, but I know who you're
big
talking
media
about.
in my childhood. Big
Okay.
media. So I think
Wait,
also
the
that.
young little girl who, was the surfer, and she lost her arm, and they made it like a movie
Yes,
with like
they made
Jack
a
Nicholson's
documentary.
daughter plays her.
Yeah,
Yes,
they did
she
the
was like
whole
in
thing.
every like kids Sports
Yes.
Illustrated magazine.
Yes,
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 like,
and she was really cute, so like I get
Yeah.
it. But also, so
you'd be
that
out
was
there
just
be like, I
big.
want to surf, but like get a shark bite me. Like, add
You
to my
won't.
like my narrative here.
You won't, girl. So yeah, something like that, and then like maybe like I don't know. I would love to like work on a boat.
Yes,
Like we're like as like a not like a like deep sea like trawler or anything because the sea kind of scares me, but like along the coast.
Yeah,
Like I'd love to have
just-
like a brisk little like like a crabber or something.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to be like close to the marina.
Yes.
Eyesight is within land, or land
Yeah,
is
yeah,
We're
within
not doing like the
eyesight.
deadliest catch,
Right.
But
Yeah.
we're just doing some catching.
We're just doing catching.
Yeah.
And like I think there's something like very satisfying about that. Like you're providing seafood for
Oh
the
yeah,
masses.
Right.
you and Will got me into Dredge, that video game.
So
I
good.
love that video game.
Dredge is so good. It's also like, it is scary.
Yeah, it's really spooky,
It's a
but
little
it's so
freaky.
beautifully done. You feel like you're just like playing in this like little marine painting.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you play Dave the Diver?
No, I didn't. And I've heard about Dave the Diver, but I have other video games to get around.
Hearing
before
you
I
on
play
that
Dave
one.
the
I will
Diver.
say it's a really
that's
good
like
Switch.
8-bit kind of looking, right?
It is, but like they did a collab with Dredge.
Oh.
That's why I was mentioning it.
Okay.
So they have like similar sensibilities. It's really fun.
I'll check it out.
You can do it on the Switch.
I bought a Steam Deck.
Whoa!
Well, I thought
Oh.
they shut down.
Steam Deck?
Or no, that's the Google thing. Never mind. Sorry.
Steam Deck is basically just like a
Yes.
portable gaming PC. It's pretty badass. It's
pretty dangerous.
And you and Will have been obsessed with this game, and I do not get the hype. Balatro?
Oh, Velotra's so good. Are you airing me out about Velatra right now? Because
I'm
I
just
hate
like-
to tell you, the comment section is going to agree with me. Velatra is everything.
Well, it seems just insanely addicting.
It is.
But
It's troublesome.
what's the payoff?
Have either of you played it?
I never even heard of this.
It's basically like poker.
Mike, you're about to go crazy for Velatro.
How do you spell this?
Balatro, right? Velatro.
Okay.
Can you give like the skinny of how the game works
Oh,
and
absolutely.
what makes it a great game?
Is
give
this
you the
a
skinny?
sorry? Is this like a digital video game or is this like a game you play in person with friends?
Digital
Okay,
video
okay.
game.
You can
yeah,
play it
yeah.
on your phone. You can play it on Switch, Steam
Okay.
Deck.
It is basically like the regular rules of poker.
Okay.
But instead of like jokers, I don't know. I don't play regular poker. Like, also, by the way, I was someone who got converted to play this game. When Will showed me the game, I was like, that's stupid as fuck. I'm never gonna play that game. Like, that's dumb
Yeah.
and weird, and I'm not doing it. And he was like, just download it. Just do it. Just pay $10 and download it. That's how much I love him, by the way, that he convinced me to buy a $10 app to
Yeah.
play poker. That's love. Like,
Yeah.
that's deep, deep love. So anyways, I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And like, also, like, you should definitely play it for the first time while you're using the bathroom.
Yeah,
It's a bathroom game.
It's a bathroom
It's
game.
Oh,
sort of
okay.
a potty
Okay.
game.
Yeah, when you
It's a
just-
good sitting game, a thinking game. It's one of those. Or if like you're like on an airplane. Anyways, or public transport, which is why I started playing it so much. Okay, I'm gonna explain the rules of the game now. So it's poker, but the jokers do special things, like they have modifiers. So like if you're playing a game of poker and like you're trying to make flushes, right? And you're trying to fill a whole suit, there will be like jokers that add multipliers if you play flushes, or if you play like a certain like face cards will have like a multiplier or like whatever. But they're designed really well. Like the art for the game is
It
really
looks good.
pretty. Like it's
And the
so
sound
fun.
is like
Oh, the sound is so satisfying. The music that plays is like you're in this trance. It's very trance-like, the whole
Yes.
thing.
Are you playing live other people or is it
No,
just
it's
against
just
the
you,
computer?
babe. It is just you, babe. So it's, but like even like there's the Joker is like the mascot, and he kind of like negs you and makes fun of you the whole time if you lose. So you're kind of like, I'm gonna beat you.
yeah.
I'm gonna be better than
and
you.
this video game was nominated for like Game of the Year.
Yeah.
It was like the
Yeah.
indie category
You convinced me.
representative in
Yeah.
the. I just have seen videos of it, and it looks insanely addicting, and I'm worried I would.
Oh.
It will be trouble.
It would suck a lot of time.
I have a
from me.
Texas
Yeah.
Hold'em on my phone that I do play live with other people.
Oh, if
Mike?
you like then
It's not
that,
for money.
then you would love this.
But I'm playing.
Please.
There's like it's other people, and I can see their names, and it's so satisfying. I'm like, fuck you, Barbara. I know you ain't got shit.
Barbara got 8.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, here's the thing though, Balatro.
yeah.
And what I
I'm
have
on
to tell
it.
you is Balatro.
I'm on it.
So just do it. Just download it.
You have it on your phone?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll see you probably tomorrow.
I'm itching to play it right now.
Uh,
Like you mentioned it. You mentioned it. I'm fiending
I want
for
to
my
like
game.
play around with it.
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay. Last question is: if heaven exists,
Whoa.
what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Whoa. Okay. Well, I've thought about this ever since I was a kid.
Wow.
I really just wish there was a stat board. Like, I don't necessarily care about what he says to me because, like, literally, who the fuck are you?
Yep.
Like, whatever.
I'm with you.
But I want a stat board. Like, I want to know how many people looked at me in public and were like, oh, she's cute. I want a stat board of, like, how many people were like, I don't know, she's got toilet paper on her foot or whatever. Like, I just want to know.
You wanna look up
All the
stats.
data.
Yeah.
That
how many breaths I took, you know.
Yes.
How many times did you were you within mile radius of Will before you met him.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, like all the invisible strings that you may not have seen.
Yes.
How many
want a stat
hours?
board.
How many hours? How many movies did you watch?
Mm-hmm.
I also want like answers to things like I've lost or like where did that thing go?
That's such a good one.
Did that phone fall out of my pocket at that one place? Like I want to know where that thing happened that I always was wanting to know about, or that person, whatever happened to that.
And then give like the life summary of everything. So it's like basically a chat GPT, but like with God's knowledge.
Wow.
Right?
That's the best answer I think we've ever received.
Well,
on this.
you can have it now.
That's
You actually
really
have to stop the
good.
podcast now because that's it then.
That's it. We peaked.
Yeah,
We
that's
peaked.
it. You can stop now.
Do you stream this game, Balatro?
I don't stream Balatro, but I do stream a game called Infinity Nikki.
Okay.
Which is for the girls and the gays and the days, by the way.
Okay.
It's full
What do you do
cunt,
on
full
Infinity?
send crazy. It is a dress-up game.
Oh, is this something like a
online.
Roblox?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's Dress to Impress.
How dare you, Matt?
That's the one I'm familiar with.
Which is also like, that's also cunt and great.
Yeah.
But Infinity Nikki is a Chinese developed game, but the same people who made Breath of the Wild, one of the Zelda team, made Infinity Nikki. So the like environments, the puzzles, it's an open world game. The whole point is that you gather clothing, and clothing is powerful magic. So as you like build outfits, you get powers of elegance or sexy. Sexy is a category. Or sweet even, or
I need to get
fresh.
a visual of this.
And
Okay.
basically, like, you dress up your Nikki doll, and then you run around town solving people's problems. Everyone's like dropping into comas because of these wish problems. Anyway, so you're like trying to help all these people out. You have a little sidekick named Momo, and he's super cute, and you can dress him up too. And it's just like, it's so fun.
Oh, the graphics look amazing.
No, they're incredible. It's kind of like Genshin Impact.
It
If
has
you ever
great
played that.
reviews too, like 4.9 out of 5.
It's a phenomenal game. I was not going to give it a chance, and then I started playing it, and now I'm full send addicted to it. So, yeah.
Okay, sorry, we actually missed one question. I realized, what profession would you not like to attempt?
Yeah, I didn't know if you skipped over that for
Sorry, that was my mistake. I just realized. But no disrespect to anybody who has this profession. But
No, but like this is literally the easiest thing that I could ever say, and it's those people who do those really tight cave diving.
Oh yeah.
Fuck
Spelunking?
that. Spelunking. Which is actually could have been one of my other favorite words though. Even
That's
though
a
I
great
hate the
word.
practice, it's such a good word.
Yes.
But like that is so horrifying.
Who
Like
do it for fun?
that
Like,
shocks me to my core. The idea of like a water filling up a thing and I'm stuck in a tube.
yeah.
Oh my God,
And
kill
people
me.
have to like alter
Ew,
like their lungs
ew,
and how much
Matt.
capacity they have like in their gut just to get through something. No, thank you.
and
like
the
your
top
little
comment is
worm.
always like, you don't have to do this. Like,
Yes.
this is not necessary.
No one's telling you to do it. No one's
and
telling you.
it's just like the wide angle, and it's no.
And they're
It's-
breathing really heavy. And like, I remember I watched a video of some guy knock his shoulder out of place so he could get through a crevice. And I was like, you're doing too much. You are doing too much if you're doing that. You're doing too much.
I'm just so grateful that I don't have whatever like gene in my brain.
Yeah.
Like, because that's just a thing that people just
I
feel
think
like they
you
need
have
to
an
do.
amygdala. Like, I think that's it. I think you have a fear center.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't have a fear center. Like, Alex Honnold apparently doesn't really have an amygdala.
No, that dude, when you look in his eyes, is psycho.
Black.
Yeah.
Like
Black
there's
eyes.
his
Yeah.
something missing there.
Yeah.
But some people just have this like, I have to go bigger, go stronger, like
Yeah.
push myself.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I don't
No.
need to skydive. I don't
No.
need to surf big waves.
No.
I don't want to go in a cave.
I'm really good.
Yeah.
I like Heeg. I like a cozy little vibe.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
like
I mean? That's
to
really where I'm at.
See the sky, feet on the ground.
Yeah. Loving both of those things, actually.
Drinks within reach, not
100%.
not too off the beaten path.
Yeah. The other thing with the spelunking thing too is that it's a really antisocial activity. So like these people do it by themselves, like that's
Yeah.
part of
Right.
it. But I'm like, that's a recipe for disaster. You're shoving yourself in a tiny hole without telling anyone you're going to go do it
Yes.
alone. So like I remember also another article that I read about how someone was spelunking down like an area that was pretty well known in the community, and he just found a dead body in there. Because someone
From a
else
former
done-
spelunker?
Yes, because they can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself? But then there was the whole time that they saved that whole Thai soccer team. So
Yes.
then in
Right,
that case,
those guys,
in that
true
case,
heroes.
love those guys.
I guess
able
you
to
need the
do that.
skills, but why were they
Yeah.
going in the cave in the first place?
Wait, the kids?
Yeah.
think
They
it
were
was
going
because-
on a hike on like they didn't realize how rainy of a day it was going to be. It was a soccer
Monsoon season
team.
hit early.
and they thought it would just be like a fun little extracurricular thing to do, and then the water went up, and then they couldn't get out because the tunnels were.
It filled
Oh, I
the
forgot.
tunnels.
Right.
Have
right.
you ever
right.
seen the documentary about it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And they made it a movie as well, but I think the documentary is great 'cause you get
Unbelievable.
to see like the real divers and them
Yeah.
having to deal with the language barrier of this entire community and all of these families wanting to get their kids out
Yeah.
and how they had to get them out. Do you know how they had to do it?
Did they knock the kids unconscious? And then
Not
they like floated them through?
unconscious, but yeah,
Well,
they
yeah.
had to like medically sedate them, get oxygen masks onto them, and move them through the tunnel one by one, but have to give them medication at like certain air pockets to like.
And only one of the spelunkers was a doctor, right? So it was
right,
like
and they had to teach the other ones how to do it.
to be able to administer it, like, and also halfway while they're underwater.
Do they save every single person?
Yes, and
But one person did die.
but it was a spelunker. It wasn't
It
one
was
of
a
the.
splunker,
Oh,
but
one of the
also it was like a
rescuers.
military splunker. It wasn't like the hobbyist splunker, but
No.
it was someone from like Thailand's team.
I think this might be the most times that spelunker has been said out loud
Yeah.
in like a very
In
long
history,
time.
yeah.
But I will say that's part of the reason why you can watch the documentary, and I felt like I could get through it all was because I knew they were going to be okay.
Right.
So I wasn't like stressed because if I thought that there was a chance that one of the kids didn't survive, I wouldn't be able to watch it. Like I
Right.
couldn't. I'd be anticipating the one that didn't make
Have
it.
you seen The Alpinist, the documentary?
No.
It's about basically the Alex Honnold of ice climbing. So it's all about climbing in the snow and climbing up ice walls. So it's a mix of rock climbing and ice climbing.
That's so scary.
It is so, I mean, it's such a good documentary.
Really.
Better than the Alex Honnold one?
I think so.
Oh.
It's more gripping.
No pun intended.
What's the one that was shut up? Literally shut
That
up.
is,
It was perfect. I thought you like intended.
I did not. That was really good.
There
go
was
ahead.
another one. What's the other one about? And it's like I think one of the wildest documentaries, but I think it like bred a lot of like the climbing or like extreme sport documentaries. The one where they're climbing a mountain and they accidentally go across the border into Syria. What's that one?
That I don't know
This is
about.
a recent documentary, an old one.
This came out before the Alex Honnold documentary came out. And the guy, the Dawn Wall, it's called the Dawn Wall.
Okay.
And you don't think that's where it's going to go, but there is at one point a hostage situation.
Oh,
Like
boy.
it's wild, and it's a climbing documentary. Like it starts as a climbing documentary
Yeah.
about this group of people who all go climbing together in this one mountain range that like borders I think it's Syria. I'm not sure. It's somewhere in the Middle East. And they go over and they get spotted by the military.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Buzzkill.
Yeah, but they're okay. Again,
yeah.
they're okay.
Yeah.
So, but he's in Alex Honnold's documentary.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
He's
guy.
he's the one that is like training him, the blonde guy who like.
Oh.
Yeah. Mhm. He was in that first
The
documentary.
Dawn Wall?
The Dawn Wall.
DON space.
DAWN, I think.
Oh.
Dawn
I could be
Wall.
so wrong about that. The Dawn
No,
Draper
That
Wall.
sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Very
Those are
good.
good. That's a good career to not want to have.
100%. Yeah. I'll add that to the list.
Yeah,
Spelunk.
that's-
Splunking.
Spelunk. Alpinist. Although
Yeah.
again, great word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alpinist.
Well, how long are you here for?
I'm here until next Friday.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. We've got kind of like a crazy next couple days. Like I'm selling my car.
Oh my, your little Range Rover Evoque.
Yeah. I'm selling it to my dad though.
Oh, okay.
Because I was so depressed. Like he knew that I was so depressed. I've driven the same car for 10 years.
Wow.
So I'm like, and it's like, it was my first like big girl purchase. So I was like, I would feel really sad if I didn't see this car. It's worth nothing now.
Yeah.
So I was like, can you take it? And my dad was like, can you send me a picture of the tires? Because I think he was like weighing up how much the tires were going to cost.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're bald.
That is not good.
They're not
Is he
bald.
going to come
They're
pick
basically
it
bald.
up and then drive it back, or are you going to like transport
Ship it.
Yeah, we're doing like a little shipping
Yeah,
situation.
Patricia just did that with her car.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Send it
should've-
all the way back to Alabama because she would never drive it.
Yeah.
It would just sit in the back, and we just share our car. So.
Although she did get to make that like really iconic Sims video of her
The
trying to like.
TikTok.
Oh, yes.
That did so well.
That made me laugh so hard. The thing that made me laugh though was when she repositioned the camera to
Yes.
run.
yeah.
Her little like toddling running up.
I think the internet really thought that she had to do that every single day.
Right, right.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
no, we just do that like rarely.
But it also goes on so much longer than you think it. It's like, okay, this has got to be the last turn. Nope, here we go again. Oh, she's changing the camera now. It was like watching Beau is Afraid. I'm just like, oh, that wasn't the ending. We have a whole other story we're going to be doing here. Yeah, that was really good.
That was really, really good. But that's cute. I'm glad she got to keep the car because I was talking to her about it and she was like, yeah, I don't know. I've considered selling it. But I feel the same way. I'm like, that's my little I have a lot of attachment to my
These
car.
things like Land Rovers and stuff, once they get over, hers was like on 89,000 miles or
Yeah.
getting to that 100,000 mile mark. I
Yeah.
just was like, I do not want this to be our responsibility because if one thing goes wrong, it's going to be so expensive to fix. So
You
I was
are
like,
not wrong,
give it to your
sir.
parents.
Yeah,
Let them deal with it.
Would you ever go to outer space if offered?
No.
0%.
No, Will asks me this all the time because he would, and I'm like, I would literally divorce you if you went up into space.
Really?
I don't trust space because I don't trust Elon Musk, and he's the only person that's going to put people in
There
space.
hasn't been like enough successful missions for me to be like, sure, I'll do it.
I was going to say, if it was not Elon, or I mean, Bezos is the other one, but if it was like the American government and they had a program,
Yeah.
they sent up 400 people already, and it's perfectly safe.
How long am I up there for?
I don't know, 12 hours?
Oh, so it's like a little tour.
Yeah, a space tour.
I think. Well, okay. Well, I did just hear about like the horrific like that oxygen fire that broke out in one of the space missions that they did like I don't know 40 or 50 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it literally burned up on the tarmac. They could like see people like trying to get out of the plane. So I'm like, I have a real like
It's not safe enough yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Or
Okay.
even like that thing about like because wasn't there for a while Elon was like, oh, we'll make it space travel for instead of planes. So like a rocket will fly up,
Yes.
move, and then
the Earth rotates and it goes
Yeah.
back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
Which
get
I think
anywhere on
is-
Earth in like 30 minutes.
yeah, which I think is like super cool. It's just like I want NASA to do that.
Right.
I don't want Elon Musk to do that.
Same.
Yeah.
Cutting
You know what I
corners and using his stupidity.
Don't want
Does
that.
Virgin Air still? Well, it's not Virgin Air, but it's like
Virgin Galactic.
Virgin Galactic, where
Is that
they
real?
shoot you up and it's like a flyer, but it kind of goes into space for just like 30 minutes and you come back down.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
I talked to them in 2018. They reached out to do like an influencer program with one of the creators I was working with, and we were going to send the first creator into space with
That's
Virgin
iconic,
Galactic.
actually. That's really iconic.
But then we kept following up, and they were like, "Sorry, it's delayed," and I don't even think they've done anything yet. Like,
Didn't
I think
Jeff
it's
Bezos
still,
do that though? And like William Shatner, was that
that's
like
Blue Origin, which
and
is
what was that? Did they go into space?
the kind of the thing that I want to do. Have you ever seen The Overview Effect? It's like a 30-minute documentary. It's basically they just interview every astronaut that has seen Earth from space as a singular thing, and every single one of them has had a full brain chemistry state change.
yeah, I've heard about this.
That they like view the world completely differently, and it's just a thing that they can't ever unsee.
Right.
I just want to see that. I want to look out the window and get that
Wow.
experience
and know that feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
And even the idea of Earth, like when they sent out the satellite in like 1968 or whatever, and they took the first, because we never had a photo of Earth, like an
Yeah.
actual photo.
Selfie.
They put that, yeah, exactly. They put that photo on the cover of, I think it was like Time magazine or something. And then a year later, we had like the Doctors Without Borders became a thing, and it like changed the consciousness of the world. Just seeing it as not a
Yeah.
map. I just want to have that like experience in my brain.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I guess it is like sort of an ego death if you get up there because you're like, we're all just these little ants milling
Yes.
around on this big blue
Problem
orb.
seems just like
Yeah.
so small.
I wonder if there's like a VR that I could do that with. That might be
100% there
tricky.
has to be. But
Yeah.
then my question is, okay, so Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have theoretically both had that experience,
no.
and they're like that now?
Well, no, they haven't done it.
Have they not?
Well,
No,
so
they've not been to space.
I thought they went up on the dick rocket.
Yes.
No, they have not.
Jeff Bezos?
They
he
didn't-
wore the cowboy
But-
hat.
yeah,
and
but
he
they
went
didn't
on the
go.
dick rocket with
They didn't
William
go out
Shatner.
far enough.
Oh, to get a full view.
Yes.
They
You have to be
went
out
and maybe
there.
saw like the curvature of the
It's like
Earth.
being in an airplane, but like super high. You need to get the fuck out of the atmosphere.
Oh.
I actually
Okay.
met Jeff Bezos once and asked him about this.
And what did he
I know this-
say?
I don't know if have I told this on the
yes.
pod. Well, either way, I'll make it quick. I was at some event in LA before I lived here.
Yeah.
And it was like there was like a line for a bar,
Okay.
open bar at the event, and I'm waiting in line at the open bar. Bezos rolls up behind me, waiting in line at the bar, and his two huge bodyguards. And I kind of turn around and see him, and he goes, "Hey, man, Jeff, nice to meet you." And I was like, "Oh, hey, great to meet you, Jeff."
That's buck wild that he
It was
introduced
insane.
himself to you.
We were
That's
just waiting in
nuts.
line for the bar, and it was a long line. There was like 6 people ahead of us, and I was like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I gotta ask this dude something. And I was blanking. So I was like, "Hey, can you just hold my spot in line for a second? I'll be right back." He was like, "Sure." So I called my brother and I was like, "Dude, Jeff Bezos just introduced himself to me. I gotta ask him a question. What do I ask?" He just goes, "Just ask him if he's ever gonna go to outer space." Great question.
Oh.
So I was like, "Jeff, can I ask you something?" He goes, "Sure, pal. What do you want? What do you think?" And I was like, "Well, you got Blue Origin."
What are you thinking?
Yeah. will you
didn't
ever
say that.
or well, I said, well, I asked, it was, will you ever go to Mars? And I was like, so Jeff, I just have to ask, you got Blue Origin, like, will you personally, do you think you'll ever make it to Mars? And his answer was, I don't want to, because I don't want to potentially die in a tin can. And that's the level that I think we're at right now with going to Mars. I was like,
Oh, wow.
I appreciate that. That's a good answer.
Good
Yeah.
answer, Jeff.
All
so
right.
like, he was basically explaining that like we could make it there theoretically, but
Yeah.
no one's coming back. In our lifetime, if you go to Mars, you're not coming back.
You're not going back,
It's a
baby.
one-way trip.
That's a one-way ticket.
That's interesting. Will and I were writing a screenplay all about that.
Oh,
like the first couple
interesting.
that would be sent to Mars, knowing that they could never come back.
Yeah.
Imagine being the first kid born on Mars,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Excuse me, there's a whole other world
Yeah, and you took
that
me here,
has-
and I got to live in
yes,
this fucking
that has,
bubble.
like music and concerts and
Wait,
dancing and
that's
people and
such a
all of
good
that,
point.
and I'm stuck here. Get me the hell off this planet." Any kid, the first like community of children living on Mars,
Yeah.
would have a total freak out and would totally want to go back.
That is so interesting.
That's the movie. The
That
kid
is
who
a
wants to leave
really
Mars
good-
to go back to Earth.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Okay,
Yeah.
IP stolen because you know what? This is the writers' room. We caught it. We caught it on camera. Everyone
it's
gets a
all
credit.
here.
Everyone gets a credit. Okay. Well, my question though is with Jeff Bezos and like Elon Musk and stuff. Is there a reason why they're not allowed on the moon? Like, why haven't they been on the moon?
Why have they personally, or why has like these missions not gone to the moon?
Why have they not been on the moon? I would feel like that would be like
Why have we not gone back to the moon? Or wait, or just them? They
them, like
themselves
the
those two
capitalists.
people?
Yeah, like the billionaire oligarchs
if you're-
that
'cause
could
if-
afford to do it. Why can't they? Is there like a legal problem? Like,
No,
is it,
I just think it is incredibly difficult and risky, and you need to basically be a full-time astronaut to go to the moon.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
I don't think moon technology is up to the point where they can just bring along tourists.
you can call it moon tech.
Moon tech.
tech.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the other documentary where they unearthed all the footage from the Apollo mission? I think it's just called Apollo.
Is it the one where it's kind of like showing like literally the people doing
Yes.
the math on what looks like a literal like handheld calculator? Like
Yes.
you're like, how the fuck is this how they're calculating it?
Arguably the best
Yeah.
documentary
Yes.
in the last 10 years. It's
Yes.
it is zero interviews, zero modern footage. They unearthed like hours of 4K, like full film
Yeah.
footage that they told the entire story just with the communications of the time and like all the people talking to each other of the Apollo mission.
Which was so lit. It was
You got to
really,
put
really
on
cool.
subtitles because it's all like, cool mission, and you put
Yeah.
on subtitles and it's more gripping than the movie. It's amazing. So if you watch that, you realize like every square inch of even like the cockpit that they're in has a function. There is
Yeah.
not an
Yeah.
inch
Yeah.
of room
They don't waste any
for like
space.
It's all
Bezos to
engineered. Mm-hmm.
hop in and like take a selfie. We're not there yet.
Not happening. Also, like, yeah, I don't know. He probably also like there's probably something. He takes too much testosterone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Right.
He's not gonna be able to go up there. His head will pop.
Right. Yeah. Elon
I
needs
watched-
his ketamine fix.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't have ketamine in space. I don't
No.
think you can, anyways.
Yeah.
But I watched that documentary. I was in Amsterdam and I had smoked Can I say I smoked an entire joint?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Cool.
It's
okay.
America, baby.
This is America. I could say that. This is California more
Yeah.
specifically. But I smoked an entire joint. And like the thing about like Amsterdam weed is it's not like LA weed. Like it kicks. Like it's like weird how much it kicks. I think it's because it's Ibiza weed maybe. But anyways, I went to a coffee shop, smoked a whole joint, and then Will was like, we're going to go to this art house to watch this documentary. But the documentary, you know how you were like, it's like the whole time. So it was in, is it Dutch subtitles?
Oh, man.
So I was listening. I was high as a kite. I've never been higher in my life, and I was listening to and it was so like jumbled that I was like, did they translate this? Like I thought I was.
Yeah.
I was like reading the subtitles, and I was like, I can't understand
Yeah.
this. Like, am I? Huh? But then I figured out it was in fact all in English. But that was like halfway through.
That's a tough way to watch that movie.
Yeah, it was beautiful though, and I was like, I think I
What's the
shed a
name of it
tear.
again?
I think it's just called Apollo.
Yeah, it's called
Okay.
Apollo.
Or Apollo 13. No, I think it's just called Apollo.
Apollo.
Netflix documentary. Even with the subtitles, it's a little hard to follow because they're using, it's just their like super specific, like R41C. Can you give me your
So
like,
much like all
jargon.
the code talk.
Yeah.
That you
Yeah.
don't even
Just
know what
like-
it means.
Yeah, but really good.
Do you know about the Jet Bridge Boys?
Who are the Jet Bridge boys?
Chat.
It's me, Matt, Will, and Matt's brother.
I know about the Jet Bridge boys.
Have you heard any of our commentary on the Jet Bridge Boys? Like, have you seen any reviews?
Well, yes, because Will shows me them.
Okay.
Anytime I think you put something in.
Okay.
Mike's the expert,
Yeah.
and we all like refer to
Yeah.
Mike, but we do like compare and swap different jet bridges that we go on.
It's
Yeah.
quite impressive. Like the dialogue that you can have about something so inane is quite impressive. Like it is like a depth to something that is quite depthless.
I think we were probably the only ones out there who have like a proper like jet bridge
Reviews.
Yeah, unless true engineers of jet bridges that are actually friends.
A
obsess
Jet
about
Bridge
it.
Quarterly
Yeah.
magazine.
But you know, it would be amazing if you got someone who like really that was their hyperfixation, because I think that has to be like
there
something.
has to be
Yes.
somebody.
You should add them to the group chat and then gaslight the fuck out of them. Like, yeah, no, I'm educated in this. I know what I'm talking about.
For the listeners, it's just when you're going in between the gate and the airplane, you're in that like it's called the jet bridge. We were on a trip, the four of us, and I just started like making up as if I was doing a YouTube review of the jet bridge. Like, well, this is the A400, came out in 1975. We're going to see the white paneling here. That was indicative of Carl Seinfeld, not related to the comedian, but he created this, and I just like would make up this thing.
There's the black and yellow tape along here. Most people call this caution tape, but in jet bridge culture, it's known as bumblebee. Black and white.
It's the specificity with which you bullshit this.
And the certainty of it, no hesitation.
Yeah, you guys are experts.
seriousness.
So in a group chat, if anyone's on a flight, they'll send a picture or a video of their jet bridge, and I'll review it for them. So
It's impressive. It's really impressive.
I'm glad that you are like, I always wonder if people are in significant others, like, do they get all the good juice from the group chats? I hope
Yes.
that they do.
Yeah, I would say I'm not an honorary member, but I definitely I observe.
You're
Okay,
aware.
I'm glad that you get it.
I'm aware of
Aware
it.
of the club.
Yeah, I am.
Cool. Well, that was amazing.
This was fantastic,
Thank
Arden.
you for joining us.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank
much
you
for
for
coming
having me
on. Where
on.
can the people find you, Arden?
Well, you can hang out with me on Twitch, twitch.com/Arden Rose. Yeah, I play a bunch of cute games. My average crowd is like young female professionals who just like to listen to me in the background, which I love.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, come hang out with me there if you want to.
And Instagram,
TikTok,
YouTube.
Yep.
All of it.
Yep, still hanging in there.
Yeah,
100%.
while we can.
Yeah,
You're
while we
fantastic. You're a
can.
gem. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right,
Toodles,
we'll see you
everybody.
next week, everybody.
Bye.
Can you just pose for thumbnails too?
Yes.